It's the Kesha Said It Show. All right, guys, it's what you've asked for. Episode 3, we about to dig deep into it and get into it. What's the tea? The real, the raw, the uncut. And guess what? We have a special guest. You better tune in. It's the Kesha Said It Show. Hey, it's the Kesha Said It Show. Episode 3, guys. You guys ready to dig into this? I hope you are, because I know I am. Yes. It's called The Real, The Raw, and The Uncut. We're just going to sit back and vibe and chill. We got a special guest on here. I'm going to bring him on in a second, and we're just going to vibe and talk about some topics that me and him talk about on the regular. You know what I'm saying? So from the intro, you could probably see what we're going to dive into. We're going to talk a little bit about these lace front wigs. We're going to talk a little bit about these eyelashes. We're going to talk a little bit about self-esteem and what that means from a female perspective, but also a male perspective. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring to the Kesha Said It Show, Mr. Montgomery.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? How's it going?
So, we talk about this a lot, right? We talk about like weave hair and, like when we met, you were like, oh, your hair's so pretty, and I just wore my little bob for 20 some years. And, then I started adding a little hair to it. It'd come out the restroom. It'd be long. Next day it'd be short, then I get my braids. So, when we talk a little bit about this trend, kind of what's going on, what's your perspective from a male's perspective? Because I know, but I want my subbies and the people out here to kind of hear from a male's perspective. And this is not everyone's opinion. This is not popular opinion. We are not experts. We are just vibing, chilling. And this is the Kesha Said It Show. So I'm going to say what come to my mind. And he 10 times worse. So he going to say what really come to his mind. So we are not experts. We are not being judgmental. We are just saying how we feel and what we react to when we out in these Houston streets. So from a male's perspective, like you've seen some units, and it's not just females, like there's man units out there too now. So what you feel about that?
For me, overall, it's just so interesting just to see how everyone's hair. What are their goals? What are they trying to obtain? And are they just trying to have a certain look? Are they going for the Barbie doll look? Or are they just going to show like, okay, this is how I wish my hair was look? You just don't know. You see everything, but for me, it seems like everyone is trying to go for the Barbie doll look, with the front lace, and for me personally, because I've been with Kesha so long and I've seen her through all her visible changes, and I know the background on how it should look and how it shouldn't look, and I look at them like, you literally just walked out the house like that, but you got a perfectly like there's no edges or nothing. It's just like it looks like a hat sitting on your head, and I'm sure some other guys, still guys, I don't think we all out here fooled by that, but maybe a lot of guys don't care. But but I am kind of meticulous about things, and I will judge that. It's the hair, the fingernails. I'm looking at all of that. When Kesha, I'll be on. I was like, hey, what you gonna do about that chip nail? You gotta do something about that. It's been 2 days. 20, a few hours. What you gonna do about that? You gonna leave it like that? But no, I mean, and the same thing go for men too with the men units. I don't know what's going on with the men units. I've seen somebody personally that had the man unit. I'm like, bro, just let it go, man. And like sometimes you just let it go. I mean, for men, it's a totally opposite field, but like we should just be able to let it go. Like if for some reason my hair decided to like I'm out, then I'm out too. It told me my head told me I was out the game.
Right. And it's funny how you said a line, like this is a line right here, a line of demarcation. But they have a fix for that. Like people are legit putting like these big old swoops right here with like the man-made baby hair, and y'all sometimes it looks like wings. Like I'm just saying, like we need
That's
to do
wild.
better. We need to do better. But yeah, I mean, I know it is a protective style. We have a lot of naturalistas out there. Shout out to all the naturalistas that is able to finish that journey. And I mean, they out here thriving. I've tried the natural route, what, 4 times now, and I do it with the big chop. So I just chop it all off, let it start growing. But that's a journey. Like, I can't get past the okay, now what do I do? The baby afro stage. It's not long enough to braid because these braiders out here are tripping. They want your hair to be like 3 inches all the way around before they even give you some box braids. And it's like, what do you do with it? Do you rock that little baby afro? Like, that ain't for everybody. So shout out to my naturalistas. But I do get that it is a way to protect your hair. But sometimes we go to the extreme, like these 40-inch bundles, these 50-inch bundles. Like, is that appropriate every day? Do you wear that to work? And like, in what career? And I know they got the Crown Act. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I'm like, what do you do? Do you walk in a courtroom with 50-inch bundles if you're an attorney? Do you go to the ER with 50-inch bundles if you're an ER doctor? Like, just, I don't know. I'm just interested to see how people like move. Is that something that, like, almost a hat? Do you take it off at night and put it on something? And then decide, oh, I'm going to wear Becky today, or I'm going to wear Sylvia tomorrow. Like, do you have a different wig every day? I just want to know. And, I'm not on here shaming anybody or bashing anybody about the wigs. Cause listen, I've been wearing weaves since 8th grade. My family can attest to that. But when I have a baby, I have a daughter that suffers with alopecia. So she wears wigs. She wears wigs for a medical reason. And so I'm just wanting to know, like, how do you decide, when enough is enough? What are the different reasons that we're wearing it? We know we have medical, but we have some people that are out here that have, I mean, they take that wig off and they got a whole bunch of hair. Like, their hair is thriving. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Is it to the point where it's just like you don't feel like doing your own hair?
You also got some that'll take that wig off and the hair is matted and loose braids and all kinds of stuff going on as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like, what are you really protecting if you're still not taking care of your hair underneath it? So to me, it's almost like double work because you still got to maintain your real hair underneath it, make sure it's thriving and glowing and healthy. And then you got to maintain the hat, the wig, the unit, whatever you want to call it. Now, for men, okay, it's the same thing. So when I switched to the men unit, we got men out here with full heads of hair, but I guess they want like overnight dreads. So how does that work? Like, Justin going to the barbershop, like, have you seen a man unit installed? I'm intrigued.
I have not personally seen a man unit installed. I've seen some YouTube videos on it, and but I do know my barber does them, and he says that's a quite lucrative business actually, and it's more or less I guess similar to what women go through. I mean, you start out with the process, you get the initial unit, and then you got to go in monthly to have that maintained, and I guess they go in, they add some fibers to it or whatever, however the process is, but to me it's quite interesting. But then you also have your natural hair that's probably trying to grow in under that, and so that your barber got to come in like weekly or every other week to have that maintained on top of the unit. So I mean it's a whole nother process. Hey, and I'm not hating on the barbers out there hustling doing it. I mean, heck, if I knew how to do it and I had the patience, I would probably do it too. Hey, bro, you
Ching
look good,
ching.
man. You look good, bro. But I do know I think the man units they started around $1,000 or something to get them initially going, and then it's like 250 a month to maintain them. So I mean, that's a killing. If a barber gets a handful of guys doing that, I mean, more power to them.
Yeah, it's money because I don't even know if a full wig installation costs $1,000. I mean, of course it depends on the bundles and the hair and all that stuff. But I mean, I get it. Like, the barbers and the stylists are like hand over fist right now with cosmetic things because literally, like, I remember back in the day when even when I was a kid, my mom would take me get a wash and style, and it was literally like $30 a wash and style. You throw a relaxer on that relaxer wash and style, we looking at 50. When I got older, in my 20s, it was probably like 100 for a relaxer wash and style. Now you go in, some of these beauticians, they want you to come with your hair washed. Now braiders have been doing it a long time. They're like, hey, look, come with your hair washed and blown out and we're going to get right to it. I get it. That process, I've sat in the braider's chair like 8-10 hours before, so I understand. But if I'm coming to you and just literally getting a wash and style and a cut why do I need to go before I even get there, have my hair shampooed and ready to go before I even sit in your chair? So all you got to do is cut and style, and you still charging me $300. Like, I don't know. I think that's a bit much. So maybe people that are like really avid about rocking these units and stuff, they're like, well, I'm gonna put all the money up front and pay $800 for a install, or $1,000 for an install, because it actually comes out cheaper on the other end versus rocking your natural hair and having to go to the shop every 2 weeks at $300. So I don't know. I guess you just give and take. But yeah, it's interesting. This trend out here is interesting, and it's been going up and up and up and up. Like they taking it's levels to it. It's not just wigs anymore. It's eyelashes. These eyelashes are like a whole nother situation. Like I said, I'm all about adding and
The eye caterpillars.
the eye caterpillars. Like some of these eyelashes, y'all, like, come on. We got the nice ones that look very normal and the basic ones. And then we got these ones that out here literally look like somebody running around here with a caterpillar on their eyes. And my thing is, I don't like stuff that impedes my vision. I can't. If I have to see it in my blink, I can't do it. I wear glasses now. Okay. Age has aged me, and I'm glad because, hey, there's only one other alternative to that. But I am a full time eyeglass wearer. So I can't even imagine having these caterpillars on my eyes and they hitting my lenses. Like, that would bother me all day long. Like, when you sleep and you wake up, can you wash your face appropriately? I don't know. I just have so many questions. The bigger that they get, I've had individual lashes on before for certain occasions or certain events. I wore them for 3 weeks. I think they last that original time, and then they're off of there because me personally, like, I'm constantly in my face. I'm rubbing my eyes when I'm thinking. I'm a face person. I keep my hands in my face. So I really can't live with them caterpillars on my eyes. But from a man's perspective, like, if you out there and you seeing somebody, what is that? How does that make you feel? Like, what's your thoughts about that?
It's very interesting for me. I mean, ultimately, it's the woman's choice to do whatever they feel, but and they think if they think they look beautiful with I call them caterpillars on their eyes, then that's fine. But me personally, I'm like, yo, what's going on here? Like, like, is there some kind of deficiency going on with your eyelashes? But I mean, do they make any regular eyelashes? Why they gotta be so long? It's like it's team too much. It's just like over way, way, way over the top. It doesn't look natural to me, and I don't understand the style at all. So it's like, yo, what's going on here?
Right, right. And Justin's very conservative, okay? Very conservative. So, even the natural ones may be a bit much for him because they're just the natural looking ones, I should say, because they're just not natural, like you weren't born with it. But even for me that are okay with adding things, a person that's okay with adding stuff, that also, like, I don't know, I just think it's a bit extreme. Like, these trends are nice, but I think why can't we just stay in that space where it's good? Why do we just need to take it to another level, and to another level, and to another level? It started with just the basic individual lashes, and then now we're moving into 3D and 5D and 8D, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And on top of that, these lashes are not cheap. Like, 3D lashes, I got them one time from my nail lady, the lady that does my nails, and they were $200 for the initial set, and then $100 for the refills after that. So I mean, all this stuff is costing us money. I'm rethinking even getting my nails done anymore, because every time I go to the nail shop, I got to hear him, and he's like, "Man, it costs $175 for your nails." And so I mean, things are expensive and
Wait,
times are
wait, wait a
changing. Like,
minute, $200 for the lashes? You didn't tell me about that one. You just kind of slid that one in.
oops. But yeah, no, like, when I normally only get them done like milestone events, birthdays or something like that, where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put a little extra glam. So yeah, $185 is what I paid the last time I got lashes. Now, mind you, it was probably a good 18 months ago or close to 2 years ago, because like I said, I don't get them very often. But yeah, they're expensive. $185, and that was for 3D. That wasn't even the 5D. I can't even imagine how much that would cost. Probably $250, which I'm not
And
willing to
how
pay
long does
because
this last? Is this like a few
a month.
days or hours? less not okay, at
The
least.
initial set lasts a month. If you're, like I say, you got to move a certain way when you have them. Like you can't be rubbing in your eyes. When you wash your face, you really got to like dab, and not scrub like I like to scrub. Okay. Which is another reason why I can't really do wigs. I can't do wigs because if I can't wash my hair every other day and scratching my head every day, I can't do it. I gotta have contact with my skin and my scalp and all that. I'm a very tactile person. So, but yeah, it's costly. It's very costly. So I'm just saying, beauty comes in different forms, shapes, sizes, and adding to that beauty is not a bad thing. We're not on here, like I said, I can't say it enough. We're not on here criticizing anything. We're just talking about the latest trends. It may be an unpopular opinion, things that we're saying, which is fine, but this is the type of conversation that we have when we're drinking coffee in the morning or when we're in the car together riding. We're like, oh my God, did you see that lady's hair? Did you see, that dude? I think that's a man wig. What do you think? And it's interesting because you have some of these celebrities on here that you see, then you're like, I know that is a man unit. Like before Steve Harvey went completely bald, that was a man unit because his hair was too perfect.
But he had men out here, before we even knew about men units, he had men out here believing like this dude had the perfect edge of like, how many times did Steve Harvey go to the barbershop? Because, man, I just got my hair cut done yesterday and my edge ain't as crisp as that one. So, I mean, he had men out here for years like, hey, I don't know how Steve Harvey does that, man. I'm trying to keep up with that dude.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you have, I think you have some single friends too that's still single. You know, have y'all had conversations about like hair on females or eyelashes or like the trend and things like, being that they're single and they're still out there, like what does that do for them? Like when they're looking to like, talk to someone or get to know somebody.
It just depends. I mean, to a certain extent, we all see the eyelashes for sure. You can't help but miss them. They waving at you when they talk to you. It's like, so those are like, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that trend, bro, but it is what it is. And then with the weaves, I find out a lot of guys don't pay much attention to them. They may not even notice it. But for me, I'm like, yo, that's not even matching. That's not the same color of their hair. You can see it. Like, what's going? That's a half wig. I'm identifying it like right away. Like, bro, you didn't see that half wig? He like, huh? What you talking about? Like, it's a whole
Right.
nother thing. Some guys just don't get it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It does get crazy out here. But I want everybody to know that regardless of your hair, regardless of, if you gotta wear a unit, you don't have to wear a unit, you wanna wear a unit, you same thing with the lashes, with the nails, beauty is beauty. You are beautiful, you are enough. But just in moderation, like everything else, like in moderation. Um, but if it is something that you're trying to add or change, you really got to deep dive into the why. Like, why am I trying to change how I look? And also with people that you start to keep in your space, maybe when you met this person, they did have this long, beautiful, glammed out hair. And then guess what? What happens like after you've been together for like a month and then now you're waking up together and then the little thing is on the bobblehead thing that keeps it secure. And you're like, wait, that was a wig? Like, I don't know. That could be like shock factor for someone like, oh, wow, that's not your hair. Do you feel tricked? Do you feel like this ain't the person that I met? Because I hear it all the time from him. He's like, I've been wearing my hair short like this probably a good 10 years. Right before I had our daughter, I started wearing my hair real short. And so when I kept doing that, he's like, well, when is that Bob gonna come back? When is the person that I married, or he got this picture that he has in his phone, when is this person gonna come back? Like, do you feel tricked or do you just kind of roll with the punches, or what do you do at that point if you wake up and the wig is on the bobblehead over there, and now you just see like a wig cap? What questions do you ask?
Well, for me personally, I just want to know like what's going on because I done had like six, I would say at least 6 times. He said, "Oh, I'm gonna grow my hair back out," and then I go to the gym, I come back, and I always think I turn the corner, I see the light on in the restroom. I'm like, "Oh gosh, what's she doing?" It's like I walk in there and this hair all on the floor. I'm like, "Again? I thought you said you were growing it out." And I always know that there's a window, like you said, when you got that little mini fro, like you're like. We're to that point where she's gonna start having these second thoughts. She's gonna go natural this time, and then I come home. You come in the door with the CVS bag, and I know where this is going. She gonna put a process in there or something. You never know. I'm like, come
What
on,
what
man.
does what does CVS bag mean?
Oh, it's gonna be an olive perm in there. That's what's gonna be in there, regular strength. So it's like, here we go again.
Not the
And
olive
I was like,
turn, regular street.
regular strength, baby. I already know, but I'm like, if you're gonna go natural, you decide to do that, then just do that and embrace. You say you want to embrace the process of going natural. Well, you embrace that quote unquote ugly process because hey, I've done the natural process. I didn't have dreads. There's a point when you have dreads and you got them early on twists, and as my mom used to say, it looked like rats been sucking on each end on ends and stuff. Hey, it is what it is. My mama hated that, and it is what it is. So I take the heat. Take the heat. If you're gonna take it, that's embrace everything that comes along with it. Because early on process, dreads even to me are not that appealing. But once you get, it's rewarding once you see that length, and you actually like, oh damn, this is what's up. You're like, all right, cool, I can rock this.
Yeah, I mean, he really did that. That's one thing I can say about you. Like, you got it in your mind. You was like, I want dreads, and literally, like, you went from the bottom, like scalp, to the length that they could start them at, all the way to thriving. Man, I wish I had a picture I could pop in here, but um, I don't know, and I've always talked about it too. I've thought about it. I was like, well, I really like the micro locks, but that ugly phase, man, I just can't get past that ugly
You
phase.
ain't built for that life. When you said you was gonna get dreads, I was like, nah, you ain't about this life at all. Because you'd have been halfway through it, and just starting a life journey, and then start cutting. It was like all that time wasted.
Yeah, and I have an issue with like things not being um I hate to say perfect. Like I like my hair to be presentable at all times. And so like I would be trying to do retwist twice a week. You know, I can't wait for an appointment to have my hair retwisted because I'm like, I'm going somewhere. Like I don't need all this extra root showing. I need a retwist today. And I just think that they're beautiful, but for the way that I work, like he said, I'm built different. I don't think I could go through that journey, but he did, and it was awesome. How long did you have dreads?
I would say probably about a year and a half or something like that. But yeah, I just embrace all phases. And I'm a big stickler. So a lot of people that have dreads are like, oh, I'm just gonna get my edge up done, every month, when I need. I was like, nah, I was in the barbershop religiously every other week. I was getting my everything around trimmed down, cut down. And then I did my own edge up in the weeks in between if I needed to, whatever, if I had a meeting. So I didn't believe in not being neat. Even though you're doing dreads, you're going natural, you still can keep it neat.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. That's my thing. It has to be neat. It has to be presentable. It's you walk in some of these rooms, depending on what your career is, and it's like I'm already like, you know, I don't want to say at a deficit, but it's like I'm not supposed to be here in a sense, and so I definitely want. I'm not trying
Token
to
is
fit
what I
in.
call it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not trying to fit in, but I don't wanna stand out either, you know what I'm saying? So, I gotta that's the unfortunate part, with certain situations, like, whether it's you're the only female at the table or you're the youngest female at the table or, you are the only, minority at the table, like, you have a whole 'nother, list of things that you gotta have checked off, um, because you want to remain at that table, so I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. That's a whole nother episode, but yeah, I have to be presentable and I have to be neat when I'm doing these taking these meetings and talking to people that are the powers that be, the stakeholders as they call it. So but anyway, but yeah, hey, more power to you, whether you're on a natural journey, whether you're on a protector style journey, and braids. Okay, listen, I love me some braids. I can't wait. I'm on a countdown, and he can tell you, like, I'm like, I think another month and a half, I'm ready because I love my braids, and I will be getting them as soon as I can get these inches right. Because I don't want my braiders to be like, I'll tell you. So probably November. Okay, so I'm just coming off of a natural journey. So last summer I went natural again for the fourth time, like I mentioned earlier. And y'all gonna laugh at this. And so I had my hair ash blonde, right? I had finally got it to a beautiful color that I like. And lo and behold, Miss Kesha said it was like, I'm going out of town. I can't go out of town like this. So we were getting ready to take a international trip, and I was like, I want to rock a ponytail. So, and I knew better. I knew better. I don't know why I did this. I relaxed my hair. Now, mind
Come
you,
that
it was
CVS bag.
it was already bleached and dyed and all this stuff, y'all. So I'm short again because my hair fell out. Yes, my hair fell out. So I'm starting all the way over. But it had grown, it was thriving, it had grown so long. But because I was feeling myself and I was taking a trip, I wanted a certain look and didn't wind up with that look anyway because my hair fell out. Go figure. So now I'm back in it. Probably it's been about 3 months now. So I think I got about another month and a half. Hopefully by April I can get my braids, and then I'm gonna sit down somewhere for a minute and actually just let my hair grow, thrive, and see where we go. And maybe I can get that bob, that picture that you got in your phone again. We'll see.
We'll see. I'll hold on to it.
Keep hope alive. But yeah, I say that to say that everybody's beautiful. We all thrive to be better, but sometimes we are better. We are already better, right? We're already a best version of ourselves. um there's always room for improvement, in certain areas of our life, but I don't think that we should try to hold ourselves to certain standards, whether we comparing ourselves to celebrities or we're comparing ourselves to certain people in our life or people on social media. And in episode 1 I kind of talked a little bit about being mentally um mentally okay, being mentally prepared to even deal with social media, because if there's some things that you're still working through with yourself and you're on social media, that could really be damaging, further damaging to you and what you're currently going through. So I know I usually do a word of the day. I'm gonna let Mr. Montgomery come up with our word of the day. What word you got for my people today?
So I just come up with just one word or just a matter of fact type word, like figure of
So
speech. What we going here?
if you have watched the last couple of episodes of the Kesha Said It show, you know what the word of the day is. So our first word of the day
Okay.
was intentional, right? Our
Okay.
second word of the day was grace. So what's your word, Mr. Montgomery?
I'm going to go with strength. And I say strength because you should have the strength to be who you are, whatever you are, and face every day. You're gonna face adversity no matter where you are in your life. Whether it's personal or hair, where we're talking about job stress. And you need to have the strength and focus on and dig deep down and find that strength to carry on. Like they said, you can't let people talk about you. They talked about Jesus, so why wouldn't they talk about you? So I mean, it is what it is. If you want to wear those caterpillars and you think you look good in those caterpillars, then have the strength and courage to go out and do that. If don't let nobody else decide, well, oh, you need to wear this because you're not going to be enough if you don't wear it. Have the strength to say, you know what, hey, this is what it is, and you don't like it, kick rocks.
Absolutely. So being strong in your stance, knowing who you are, being confident in that, and having the strength to be you no matter what. That's I like that. That's pretty deep. Strength is something we all need because sometimes we get in our own way. And I was actually just having a conversation with him about that the other day. You have to be confident in yourself and confident in your path and your journey. And like he said, if you're gonna rock your caterpillars and the 3-inch baby hair that's almost to your eyebrow, then hey, be the best caterpillar in the 3-inch um, baby hair person out there. Like, be strong enough to do it and hold it. And if somebody says something about, hey, look, this me, this my style. I'm a trendsetter. This is what I like to do. Because that person may have a 19, 20-inch hair underneath that cap. You don't know what they're working with, or that person may be struggling. Like I said, we have a daughter with alopecia. So you never really know somebody's journey and what they're going on. But strength is one of those characteristics that you're going to need throughout life, whether it is dealing with your career, whether it is dealing with a relationship or a friendship or just life in general. Things happen. We get thrown monkey wrenches, and we have to be strong enough to deal with that. So um, it's okay being stuck in the mud, because that's actually where you build the stronger you. and you identify what it takes to get out of that mud. So we're going to leave you with that word today. We're going to leave you with strength. And we hope that you have a phenomenal week coming up, and you utilize some of those tools moving forward in your day to day to be the best version of yourself that you can be. Thank you, Mr. Montgomery, for being the first guest on the Kesha Seti Show. How was your experience?
Welcome. Oh, it was great. Had a great time. Thanks for having me on, of course. And I thought it was great. And I hope the people enjoy the show as well. And I wish you the best of luck, honey.
And would
Much
you
love.
come back on?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime.
We're going to
I'm
get
a
him
click
back on
away.
for
Knock on the
baseball
door
season.
away on the other side.
Absolutely, absolutely. Guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have not already watched episode 1 and 2, and now 3, go back and watch them. You know, they're still there. The likes help keep me in the cadence. And if you can comment and kind of say whether or not you like the show so far, if there's something that you'd like me to discuss, if you want to be a guest on the show, send me and drop me a line. You know, share this with your friends, your colleagues, whoever, your family. Let's build our network. Let's build our channel. You guys are coming on this journey with me, so I do appreciate it. And also remember that February is Heart Health Month, so get with your cardiologist, check your numbers, check your stats, get ahead of it instead of behind it. And because we want you here, we want you to continue this journey with us. And so, as always, thank you so much. Much love. And thank you for tuning in to the Kesha Said It Show. Remember, every Thursday a new drop comes. And so we can't wait to see you on episode 4. Details coming. Peace. It's the Kesha Said It Show. All right, guys, it's what you've asked for.